Listen, talk to me about what's probably been the weirdest preparation for any fight that you've had. 6 months of lockdown or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I think, getting back in shape was probably the hardest. Getting, my fitness, my mojo back was the hardest. Yeah, apart from that, though, it's been quite smooth, this training camp.
Spoke to quite a few fighters over the last few weeks who've talked about being, maybe a little bit depressed, with no dates on the horizon, no camp to go into. Did you yourself feel a bit low at times?
You know what? I always thought that it's going to come back, and I just tried to remain positive and think positive. So in my mind, we're going to have a fight soon. This is only temporary, and I hope it keeps building. We come back to some more normality.
Yeah.
Eventually, back where we were.
Did it help having Caroline and your brother at home, and did you guys train? Did you have like Dubois sparring sessions in the garden and stuff like that, or?
No, I'm too heavy for them now. We look after each other and train them, and we try and motivate each other. So it's been fun, being at home with the family, doing that. Remaining sort of disciplined.
I've just been speaking to Sonny Edwards, and he was saying, firstly, he was quite thankful ultimately about the lockdown because it gave his hands time to recover, and I'm sure for yourself as well, it was a nice break for your body just to relax and maybe grow a bit more naturally.
Yeah, it was. Putting a bit of size down there as well, and heavier. But,
what was your poison? Was it Five Guys, was it, or too many takeaways, or just a bit of home cooking?
Good home cooking, man. Yeah, home cooking. Just living life, living good, and eating well, and feeling, sort of unsure about what was going to happen next. And I'm glad I've got this fight Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I spoke that fight, Sonny's just told me that back in the day, you used to spar Charlie Edwards. That can't be true.
Yeah.
No way.
Going way back. Early days. I remember sparring in the Lynn Boxing Club, and I was quite excited about that. I was sparring the GB fight, and that to me was a big deal. And seeing him with the vest walking in, and he was all over. Everyone was talking about him, and I was quite, this is what I got to get to, GB.
Charlie was bigger than you back then, apparently, as well.
Yeah, I was only skinny. I was always a skinny kid. I don't know when this happened, but here I am.
Let's talk about the fight this weekend. Well, in fact, before we do talk about the fight this weekend, let's talk about what can happen in the heavyweight division if you allow yourself to take your eye off the ball for a split second. Of course, Dillian Whyte over the past weekend. What did you make of Alexander Povetkin's 5th round and that shot?
Just wow, perfect shot. Just so totally changed. Dillian's plans right now. He was talking about moving on for world title next and stuff. Just wiped all of that out. And Povetkin's now he's the one in the position for the world title. So it shows you anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change everything. So you got to be on your A game all the time.
Yeah, man.
You get caught, you'll be in trouble.
Listen, you probably hear old men like me and Martin and, all the guys in the media saying that to you that all the time. One punch can change everything, son. But I tell you what, that was a stark reminder that it is absolutely 100% true in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, no one's safe for sure. Nothing's written in stone. No one knows really what's going to happen next. So when that happens, it's quite exciting as well for the heavyweight division of boxing. I think that's part of the excitement, not knowing really what's going to happen and the formality of it. Just a shocker like that just puts Dillian back.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something like that happening so close to your fight as well. Does that do Martin's job for him and Frank's job and your dad's job? No one needs to remind you now to keep your eye on the game.
No, I won't be thinking about that. I'll be going out there to put the hurt on him. So that's me.
Absolutely.
I understand that you have to listen and protect yourself at all times. That's what it says. So I don't see I could make any mistakes right now where I'm at now.
Yeah. Listen, Ricardo Snijders is coming in. He's a replacement opponent. His record on paper looks good, but I think most fight fans will be surprised if this guy is still standing vertical after a couple of rounds. Does that bring a different kind of pressure to you, or are you just well used to this now?
Yeah, I'm used to it. I want to shine, and I can't wait to go. I'm ready to go now. It's been, I'm interested in. I'm excited about this fight. If he's trained hard, and I know I've trained hard, then we'll have a good fight. But I'm just can't wait to go out there and have a devastating win.
Yeah. Listen, Joe Joyce kept his end of the bargain, if you like, last month by getting a victory, by getting a stoppage, keeping the mooted October 24th showdown between you guys on track. I know at the time you said on the night you weren't too impressed with Joe, but he did get it done inside 3 rounds ultimately, regardless of the fact that he looked pretty big. Are you trying to, kind of go one better, kind of look a little bit more destructive, a little bit more professional, if you like?
Yeah, I want to have a clean performance, a clinical, clean performance, and go out there, shine, and do what I do best, and that's sharp work and use all what I've learned over the years in my amateur career and everything, put it all together on the night, and to come away, happy with my performance, and knowing that I've done a decent job.
Yeah. Have you been frustrated by the fact the Joyce fight's been pushed back? It kind of delays your progression 6 months?
Not really. It's been, more time to prepare, more time to grow, and get better as a fighter, as a person, and improve in all areas. So it hasn't affected me. I'm only 23, so I can do with that little bit of rest and time to just reflect on things.
Yeah. I know speaking to your dad previously and to Frank, there was a real excitement about getting you to this world heavyweight title at a certain age, trying to make it happen as soon as possible. Obviously, things have been delayed now, and it's completely been out of everybody's control. But do you feel like it's been quite nice to pump the brakes a little bit?
Yeah, it has. It's been a good while to rest and look back on things and see clearly what we're going for. And this is the next chapter, I think, in my career, and a lot of time to get set. And now we're ready to go. It's on, and I'm ready.
You're one of those really enviable fighters that always seems to have the next step plotted out for him. As I say, you've got Snijders this weekend, all being well with the lockdown or the easing of it. Joe Joyce in October. Could we well see you back out at the back end of the year as well? Maybe against Otto Wallen or somebody like that. Somebody just on the next step on that world stage.
Maybe we'll have to see how it goes. Maybe. I can't say right now, but maybe.
Because so far, every test you've been handed so far, Daniel, you've absolutely taken it in your stride, and it's hard from a fight fan perspective not to get excited at the moment because we're like, this guy's going, we're going.
Oh yeah, we want to keep this train moving and keep it going. I'm excited. I want to just show what I can do, and winning fights and entertaining the audience at home. I enjoy that. I really do.
Yeah, man. Listen, let me go off course for a second and ask you about a fighter that was making the headlines for all the wrong reasons, certainly around the start of lockdown. Big Baby Miller, Gerald Miller, obviously busted once again. I think a lot of fight fans have just had enough of this guy now. We don't want to see him in the sport no more, but promoters are still going to give work to people that generate headlines, even if they're negative headlines. From a fighter's perspective, I'd like to push it back to you and say, I'd like you to draw a line in the sand and go, I'll never face that guy. That guy's a serial drug cheat. I don't want him in my sport.
I'd face it, just beat him, but if they put that to me, but just on moral grounds and boxing being a clean sport, we want it to be and believe it to be. I think, penalties have to be, issued and things have to be done. But who am I to say boxing is run by some dodgy people sometimes, and things like this happening undercover, and when it comes out in the open, then it's just crazy, really. But
yeah.
On the Gerald Miller situation, what happens now, I don't know.
Would you be happy if they just got rid of him altogether? If everybody just said, "Listen, we ain't giving you no more work"?
No, I don't know. To put it to you, maybe because he's been caught twice now. It's getting a bit silly, obvious now. You know? Was it first time mistake, second time, then that's really bad. It looks bad.
Well, listen,
yeah.
you know, you're not a sprinter and you're not a cyclist. You know, this is a completely different sport. PEDs in boxing means so much more than PEDs in any other sport, in my opinion, because it's like loading gloves. You may as well put plaster of Paris on your gloves.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the other guy and everything else. It gives you an unfair advantage in some cases, but you can't put muscles on your chins. That's what I've heard before. So it's weird. I don't know why these guys do it. Is it lack of belief or what is it? Some guys are just lacking in the heart department. So
from someone like yourself, that's obviously never taken anything and is proud to be a boxer and has dreams and aspirations. How do they? I don't understand it, because from a competitive point of view, how do they look at themselves in the mirror? Even if they were to win a world title or a title, how could you look at yourself in the mirror and know that you cheated the other guy?
It's tarnished, but some people will do anything for an advantage. And in any sport, they'll just go to that extra limit. If some people have no respect at all, and they don't care about what's really going on, what's on the line, but. Yeah, it's just bad, really. I'd rather it not, take place and happen. And fighters just be fair, and, be proper athletes. But whoever's around these people and is, helping them get away with this, it's got to stop them.
Yeah, absolutely. One other subject before I finish off, I just want to ask you about, again, something else that's been huge all during lockdown and rightfully so. It's the first thing on every news channel. It continues to be for the last 6 months or so. And, now we're seeing that the NBA playoffs have been suspended because of the civil unrest in the US, the Black Lives Matter campaign. It's engulfed the entire planet. And rightfully so. And I just wanted to get your take on it and how it may have affected you and your life.
Yeah, well, it's right. It's obviously apparent, but I want to say like this: all lives matter, and Black Lives Matter too, but so do all lives. And we need to come together, unite, and wipe this thing out. Really. It's not good, and it really has to stop. When fighters speak out about it, and anyone speaks out about it, I think it helps in a small way. Combating it and get rid of it. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm not a political person myself, and I try and just stay clear and stay focused, because otherwise you get swept aside and distracted by some things. So,
yeah. It's interesting at the moment with the NBA cancelling the playoffs. It feels like there's something rolling through professional sports, certainly in the US. But as you say, your job is just to keep your mind on the work at hand right now and see how the world looks tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. Funny times, with all the COVID happening, and then you got time for this sort of thing to explode. It's a strange time.
Yeah, man. Speaking of strange times, Mike Tyson against Roy Jones Jr., where'd you stand on it? Are you going to watch it? Are you interested?
Of course, I'm 100% interested. Mike, people, fan favorite, and any fight he's involved in, I'm watching it. So even though they're both old men, both old boys, 50 odd, I'll be tuning in. I want to see what they're going to do, what they have left. If it's going to be a tit-tat exhibition, or someone might get hurt. It's exciting, isn't it?
That's what makes it exciting. Someone might get hurt. It's crazy. These two guys are in their 50s, and we're still kind of thinking one of them might just explode.
Still, if they worked hard for it, I think Roy sounds like he's up for it, and Mike. So, yeah, it's level, it's even ground, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Listen, Povetkin's been the name on everyone's lips this week, but I'm sure after Saturday night, everyone once again will be talking about Triple D. Another sensational knockout.
I want to get back in action and show the fans that I haven't seen it and the boxing people around the world what I'm about. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to get on just to relax back into it, get the ball rolling again. It's been a while.
It's been too long. Anyway, enjoy it, Dan. Enjoy the next couple of days and certainly enjoy Saturday night.